o'clock, we start with breaking news on Syracuse's Northside. The fire department, members of ambulance squads, the Syracuse Police Department, National Grid, and other crews are all on the scene right now of what authorities are calling a search and rescue on Carbon Street. Neighbors tell us that whatever happened late this afternoon shook homes a block away, and now there is ash and other debris covering several yards and the sidewalks. In pictures sent to us, it appears that a home has collapsed, possibly exploded. Several roads have been closed in that area on the north side of the city. The first calls for help came to 911 a little after 4 o'clock this afternoon.
It's going to be 291. Check 2 squad, rescue. Car 4, notification for the ambulance. It's going to be Oaks at Carbon. The original call was for an explosion and kids screaming. I got a motion fire from residents and building collapsed.
Breaking live on the scene right now, a very active situation on the north side of Syracuse. A possible home explosion on Carbon Street, and we've just learned moments ago that the Syracuse Fire Department, and we expect other officials, will be providing an update from the scene on this serious situation. Some of the victims of the house collapse in Syracuse are children. The first call for help was around 4 o'clock this afternoon, and crews are still working in heat that feels like 100 degrees to make sure no one else is trapped. Tonight, the mayor of Syracuse is asking for prayers for those who are victims of this. There were initial reports as many as 20 people may have been in the small house on Carbon Street when it happened. It's still not clear if a car went into the house, although authorities say a car is under all that wreckage.
Any units available for an explosion call, Carbon Street?
Original call was an explosion, kids screaming, getting multiple calls of fire from residents and building has collapsed.
Samantha Croston is live on Carbon Street with a breaking update right now. Sam.
And Michael, I'm actually in the next door neighbor's backyard right now. He offered to let us in, so I'm going to show you what we're seeing. You can actually see the car that they're working on at this time. Again, this is the neighbor's account, but he was here. He was inside his home, and according to him, that boom, that explosion, was so apparent that he thought it was his house. Also, according to him, the car, and this is again the neighbor's account, but he says the car did not crash into the home and that it was parked in the driveway. What we know is at least 50 Syracuse fire and rescue crews are searching a home on Carbon Street after that home collapsed. Emergency crews say up to 20 people were in the building. We're told a little after 4 p.m., Syracuse Fire Rescue received 911 calls saying a building collapsed and there were several victims. Crews went inside and managed to rescue at least 10 people, all of whom were transported to the hospital. Crews have not said how or why the home collapsed, only saying they are investigating. Syracuse Fire Chief Michael Mon says they're continuing to search to make sure no one else is in the home.
There's definitely times where we've seen collapsed buildings, not with this amount of people that were reportedly inside. Like I said, there was a reported 12 people inside, possibly 17 to 20 people living inside. So, we search every structure to the best of our ability to make sure nobody's left behind.
And right now, crews will not say the condition of any of the victims or if anyone has died. But what I will say is the neighbor also said, we mentioned earlier in a press conference there was potentially a baby outside. He said he saw that baby and saw someone bring the baby back so that they could receive medical care. So again, Michael, this is just another firsthand account. It just helps to provide more pieces. And he also said he did see several people walking around outside in the street with some injuries. So that's what we know so far. We will continue to talk to other people. But again, this is the next door neighbor and the home is right behind me.
All right, Samantha Cross, and we also know National Grid is working on the scene. NBC3's Megan Coleman is also on Carbon Street. Earlier today, we heard from the mayor of Syracuse. Megan is live with us right now tonight. Megan.
And Michael, this all unfolded shortly after 4 o'clock this afternoon here on Carbon Street on the city's north side, just not far from Schiller Park. Behind me, you can see the crime scene tape. The police tape is up right now. Firefighters are working that scene behind me. You can see there are at least 50 Syracuse firefighters on the scene here tonight. What we know is that a building here collapsed just off Carbon Street. We know that at least 10 people were rushed to the hospital. Several of them we believed to have serious injuries, although we're still trying to gather all the facts of exactly how all of this unfolded. Let's get a live update for you right now, Michael, here on NBC3 News at 7 with Deputy Chief Craner. What do we know right now? What's the latest information that you all have?
So our technical rescue team just completed a preliminary search of the building. The search was negative. The search took about 43 minutes, and they covered as much of the building as they could safely, but it was a very thorough, methodical search. And like I said, we were not, all searches in there were negative.
Right, and so at this point now, what happens from here? How confident are you that there is no one still trapped underneath?
We're still operating as if this is a rescue operation. There are secondary searches we have to do and some other tools that we can use just to ensure that no one's in there. All afternoon we've been trying to track down, working with a list of people that were known or assumed to be in the house, and they're having some good luck tracking those people down, whether they were transported by us or by AMR, or the SPD has been on scene working to get in contact with those people. So we've had a lot of success tracking those people down, but we are still working, under the assumption this is a rescue operation.
Now, I know we heard from you early on that there were a mixture of adults and children who were inside the home. What do we know now exactly how many people were inside the house, the extent of people's injuries?
So again, I don't have any more information other than, 10 people were transported for injuries ranging from serious to minor. 8 of those transports were ALS. It means they were transported with advanced life support, so it indicates usually more serious injuries. The other 2 were transported BLS, which is basic life support. Those injuries tend to be more minor and manageable. But again, all of those patients are now at local hospitals being cared for by our medical staff in the area.
Tonight, authorities say they are getting more confident that there is no one left in the rubble of the home that collapsed today. But they're not taking any chances. A specially trained cadaver dog will be the 3rd dog to search the rubble, and that should happen within the next hour. One firefighter on the scene tonight said they do train for this, but it's an extreme situation. The attic of the house is on the 1st floor. Our team coverage begins right now with CBS 5's Samantha Croston. She's with the Live Eye on Carbon Street. The fire chief just said that some of the victims were in critical condition with burns and crush injuries as they went to the hospital. Sam.
And Michael, you are taking a live look right now at a dog who is searching the home, just went inside the home just moments ago. We're trying to figure out, I believe this actually is possible that this is the 3rd dog, the cadaver dog that they said they were bringing in. If not, it's the 2nd dog. Either way, they had 2 dogs who came in earlier. The 3rd dog is a cadaver dog, and the question was asked tonight, why bring in a cadaver dog if they don't feel that anyone else is left in the home? They said if we have the resources, why not do it? And that was a big part of tonight. Of course, one of the big updates is that there was 13 people. It wasn't 17 to 20. The other big update was the collaboration between all of these different units. Chief Mons tonight expressing some of that in his sentiment.
Yes, it's certainly we're in a good spot right now after conducting our searches. When you look at the condition of the building, to know that there were 13 people inside that have made it out, it's remarkable. I think the mayor and I spoke about how miraculous it is to have all 13 alive right now at this point. So we're glad.
And again, you just hear all of the collaboration, heat, again, a factor today. At some parts of the day, it was 90 degrees or hotter. You are taking a live look right now at the dog leaving the scene. And you can see he went through the house. We're not sure exactly what is going to come of that. But again, as they mentioned in the press conference, they do not think that anyone else is still left inside. Live in Syracuse, I'm Samantha Croston.
All right, let's hope that dog and all the folks on the scene get some water now. Sam, thank you.